Say hi.
Hi.
So this is Mighty Mites, and it's a soccer program that we do for 2- and 5-year-olds with actually Bangor Parks and Rec Department. And we just try to get all the kids, the younger kids from community, to come here and get used to with soccer and like get introduced with the soccer game. And we actually had this year more than 150 kids sign up. So we didn't really expect that there's so many little ones that are interested in actually playing soccer.
And then if you count the parents on top of that,
Yeah, there's right now
300, 400 people here.
Yes, and those 300, 400 people might not know anything about really our program, so it's a really good way for us to connect with the community with a game that we all really, really love.
Everyone has to get on the ground as fast as possible, like this, and you have to act like you're sleeping. Okay, number 3! Number 3! Who's sleeping? That's okay. You stay that's okay. Now! Dribble! Dribble! Dribble around! Number 1! Number 1!
I started probably when I was 6 years old, because that's when we kind of like clubs are starting back home. So I started playing for my club when I was 6, and then kind of continued from that. So seeing this like 2- and 3-year-olds like getting involved and like getting engaged with soccer is really cool to see.
Honestly, that would be such a cool experience. Like I was always with like older coaches, but like having a player that plays at the Division 1 level, like that would just be awesome, and I would really appreciate that.
For like this clinic right here, it's kind of like just getting out and like nature, having a good time, like just meeting other people, like making friends, and just kind of like just getting a few touches on the ball and playing games and just having fun with it. It's not really pushing the kids towards the sport. It's more like just showing the sport to them, making it like seem like, okay, is this something for you, or maybe it's not, but at least they're just having a good time. And just
My freshman year, I didn't know what to expect when I came here, because back home like we start soccer when we were like 5 or 6. So seeing like 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds playing soccer here is different for me, but I think in the end like it really helps them out, and like starting young like obviously helps you, and just like getting outside and seeing the involvement with like the parents and the kids, it's very different, but I think it's a benefit for them.
Everyone stand up! Now do 10 jumping jacks. Ready? Go! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now hands on your head. Now put your foot on the ball. And now put your elbow on the ball. Elbow on the ball. Come on. Okay, now stand up and do some toe touches. Toe touches. Good job. I like your shoes. Good toe touches. Ready? Sit on the ball. Sit on it. Sit on it. Sit, buddy. Sit on the ball. All right, now what you guys are going to do, we're going to practice some dribbling, okay? You guys are going to take your ball and you're going to dribble around. And your parents are going to try and get the ball from you guys. You're trying to keep the ball away from your parents. If they get the ball, you guys have to win it back, okay? All right.
So I think it really helps us connect with the community, because it's an area where you really want to be part of the community and really want to give something back. And for this community, like doing it for 2- and 5-year-olds, there's not many people, many places where you can take your 2-year-old to do anything like this. So I think it's hopefully it ignites a spark in the little kids, and now they're going to start following us when they're getting older, and they're coming to the games, and they're really getting connected. Well, in Estonia, I think for little kids like 2 to 5-year-olds, we don't have much going on, like where you actually have it structured. And you can go and you actually have coaches who do something soccer related. Like we have a lot of stuff without soccer balls, but nothing like this in Estonia. So it's a good way to start with the little ones. Home game coming up right after our first time, and there were actually a couple parents who brought their kids to see the game, and their kids were able to meet our kids a little bit, and yeah, it definitely helps us.
What's that mean for the 5-year-olds?
Well, you can see behind me right now how much joy it brings. And if you look at the 2-year-olds and you look at them dribbling around with the ball and connecting with the players, you just see the pure joy, and like that's the thing where you're hoping that they're gonna stay with soccer going on from here. But yeah, no, it's joyous for them, but it's also joyous for our kids, because that reminds you why you started playing soccer. It reminds you it's just a game. It reminds you that it's supposed to be joyful. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be enjoyed.
Who's having more fun? Your players
Well,
or the
I'm pretty sure some of our players have much more fun than the kids do. But that's part of it. Like, you're so into school, you're so into only playing and practicing. So coming here on Monday nights for our kids, it's just something different where you can actually share the passion you have for soccer and share the love you have for the game.
The August All-Star Open House event is here at Quirk Chevrolet in Bangor. Save $10,475 and buy the 2019 Silverado All-Star Crew Cab for $38,995, or get 20% off all double cab Silverados.
It's your Silverado. Find it at Quirk Chevrolet.
What motivates us at Casella?
I want to help our customers recycle as much as possible.
Because I care about the environment and how our company impacts our towns.
And at Casella Organics, we find new uses for all sorts of materials.
It's hard work.
But I'm helping people every day.
And that makes me feel like part of the community.
A community I care about. So I do everything I can to sustain the resources of our environment.
Casella, dependable, caring people, part of your community.
Whether you're building a home, garage, or redoing a kitchen, successful projects start with good planning. For help designing and drafting your next project, talk to the helpful sales staff at Hammond Lumber Company. If you need them to, a Hammond sales rep can come out to your home or job site to see what you have in mind. Hammond's Home Planning Center or Kitchen, Bath, and Flooring Center will turn your ideas into accurate drawings and help you prepare a list of materials you'll need. Delivery is free within striking distance of any Hammond location. Learn more at hammondlumber.com.
The August All-Star Open House event is here at Quirk Chevrolet in Bangor. Save $10,475 and buy the 2019 Silverado All-Star Crew Cab for $38,995, or get 20% off all double cab Silverados.
It's your Silverado. Find it at Quirk Chevrolet.
Well, you know, the games were the games, but what I think our returning players really learned was the value of process and sticking to the things that we do and committing to doing them very well week in and week out. And that's probably the biggest takeaway from last season, the fact that our team accepted that and then had some success utilizing a commitment to process. I think they're gelling especially well, and a lot of the credit for that goes to our veteran leaders, you know, our captains and all the other players who have played here previously. These players have integrated very smoothly. They're very well liked among the returners. And so a combination of the freshmen and first-year players being very good human beings in their own right and deeply committed, combined with the work that our veterans have done, has allowed the team to get rather close, considering we haven't played a game yet. The thing that most people don't realize is that being a leader does not require that you have a letter on your jersey. So Jack, Ryan Smith, Tim Doherty have been leaders here in this program for a while, for any number of reasons. Sometimes it's just about, you know, their play and how hard they play and the little things that they do, and some of it is their vocal abilities and how they inspire their teammates. But they've been leaders for a while, and so now there's just a formal recognition of that. They were elected by their teammates, and but they've been leaders for a while. Listen, it's not a secret that we're lacking in experience on D. So how are they doing? They're doing exceptionally well to this point, you know, and we'll find out quite a bit more this weekend after playing Providence on Saturday and then the University of New Brunswick on Sunday. But to this point, we've been very pleased with the progress that they've made. As I say all the time, you know, there's no aisle for where you can buy experience at Target, and so players are gonna make some mistakes and everything else. We're young, but it's a talented group, and they're highly committed to being the best version of themselves. I mean, in the forward position, that's where the lion's share of our experience is located. So, you know, for the forwards, the freshman forwards who are coming into the program, they don't necessarily have to feel like they're carrying the ball. Some of our freshmen D are going to have to play big minutes right out of the chute, and so how quickly they learn, how rapidly they adapt is going to be important to the success of our team. Well, I think, you know, the goalies, you know, we joke around, those of us who played other positions, you know, we call it the goaltender union, you know, but it's really rather remarkable. Even though they compete for ice time, they quickly become friendly, and they work very hard at helping each other out. So obviously Jeremy is, you know, had a good year last year. He's a third-team All-Star and all of that, and he's a draft pick of the Boston Bruins, and he's highly regarded as an NHL prospect. But Dinger's a senior. Stephen Mundinger's a senior, and he's worked his tail off, and he's in the mix and an opportunity to earn some playing time. And Matt Thiessen is a very good young goalie, obviously a draft pick in his own right, the Vancouver Canucks. So we feel pretty strongly about the depth and the ability in net for our team. Our goal is always to qualify for and win championships. You asked me at the beginning about what did you take away from last year, and the number one thing is process. You know, you get better each and every day, and you stay focused on the task or tasks for that day. Then you put yourself in position, you earn the right to compete for those championships at the end. But that's always the goal.
What motivates us at Casella?
I want to help our customers recycle as much as possible.
Because I care about the environment and how our company impacts our towns.
And at Casella Organics, we find new uses for all sorts of materials.
It's hard work.
But I'm helping people every day.
And that makes me feel like part of the community.
A community I care about. So I do everything I can to sustain the resources of our environment.
Casella, dependable, caring people, part of your community.
Do you know your Maine dairy farmers? Chances are we're a lot like you. We are parents, grandparents. We are small business owners. We are a part of our communities. We are your neighbors. We are undeniably dairy.
Here, T-Spark, the Revolution, and Patriots are more than a team. They're the foundation of our family tree. Some call it Yankee Land, others call it New England. We call it home. It's not for everybody, but for the ones willing to create a way through, there's a reward. You can't show it off. It's not a trophy. It's a feeling. It's a sense of belonging. It's who we are and what we stand for. We are Fisher Nation.
This cinnamon sugar pumpkin latte looks amazing.
Yeah, with this caramel drizzle, it's so good.
Yeah, I wish I were this creative.
Oh, I'm not that creative.
Thanks. Oh, wow. Did you just carve this?
I did, yeah.
That is so cool. Did you make one for me? Oh.
It got busy.
Treat yourself to a new cinnamon sugar pumpkin signature latte. It's all things pumpkin at Dunkin'. America runs on Dunkin'.
I think our experience, we have a pretty, experienced team as far as our juniors and our seniors, and I think the experience that they've had in their 3 years as far as the types of games we've played, the situations we've been in, pressure situations, close games. We have a 5th-year starting goaltender. So I just think the experience they've been through the last few years kind of gives us a little bit of an edge this year. Yeah, I think the last 2 years have been kind of a whirlwind just as far as the consistency. 2 years ago we finished the highest we ever did in Hockey East. We made it to the Hockey East semifinals, lost a close 1-goal game to Northeastern, who won the league and went on to the NCAAs last year. We were undefeated at a conference, but then didn't make our playoffs. So I think the biggest thing for us is just creating that culture of consistency. We've had a couple good years, and then we kind of follow up with a down year. So just getting over the hill and then consistently putting in the time and effort and the execution to stay on top. I think Celine, Teresa, and Zendial, pretty offensive, dynamic players, very creative. I think the next step for them is this year just creating chemistry on their lines, getting our power play going, and then being consistent defensively. I think all three of them are really fun players to watch. They're very good on one-on-ones. They're very deceptive. So just creating that chemistry with their new line mates and having another good offensive year. Well, Carly, she had an amazing summer. I think she was at Cape Cod with the baseball league and got to be around some really good athletes, some really elite college athletes, some guys obviously playing to get drafted. And I think with her work ethic in the summer and her being around that professional atmosphere, it really helped her develop. I think that has already translated in our testing that we've seen this year as far as off ice and our early practices. So I think with her maturity and the year that she had last year, I think that's just infectious, and hopefully she can kind of just impact more people and be more confident with her role this year. And she's been kind of the backbone of our team the last few years, so we're pretty excited for her for one more run with her. Yeah, well, each year it's a combination of players voting and having conversations with them, and they kind of write out a little bit what they think they feel individually is a good leader, and then who it will be and why. It was unanimous that she was the leader from the players, and it was unanimous from the coaching staff that she was the leader of the team this year. She's done an amazing job so far. She's kept the team in contact all summer and updated on anything they need. She obviously has a deep passion for Maine. She's from Maine, but she's worked extremely hard for 3 years, and she just always team first. She's always thinking about others. She always cares about others. She's also someone who I think is able to be direct with people. She's not afraid to tell someone when they're not working hard, tell someone when they're not doing what they need to do. But because of the respect that she has in the room and because of how she behaves and how she carries herself, people respect her and people don't have an issue with it. So it's a pretty unique combination of a personality where someone works hard, they can be direct, but they're well respected, and also she has a great sense of humor, which I think always helps sometimes when you got to tell people tough things. So she just all around kind of fits, I think, exactly what we needed this year.
And next we have speakers from the Male Athletes Against Violence.
Hello, I'm Jaquan Blair. I'm a coordinator of Male Athletes Against Violence, and I'm here with also 3 members of Male Athletes Against Violence. Alex McKinney from baseball, Josh Huffman behind me for football, and Solomon Elmide from basketball. And we're here to just tell you about what MAV stands for and what we're all about. We're a peer group on campus, and we just want to change social norms, and I'll let these guys explain it to you.
Yeah, so I'm just going to give our mission statement. So this is the MAV mission statement that we've had for the last couple of years, or for a while now. Violence is a way of asserting power, privilege, and control. Men perpetrate the majority of violence, and yet this issue is usually framed as a women's issue. Change will come when we challenge the social norms and institutions that actively or implicitly condone and promote violence. This project is an effort to involve men so that we can begin to understand that violence is very much a man's issue.
I just have a few questions and statements to make that I want you guys just to think of as I'm reading them all. Why are we inundated with images of men as ultra-masculine and unemotional, instead of as compassionate equals to their counterparts? Why are we taught that emotionality, compassion, and strength cannot coexist? Why are we taught that men and women must possess opposite characteristics? Men are strong and dominant, women are weaker and submissive. These messages perpetuate a culture in which women will never be completely safe. The only way that violence against women is going to stop is if the arena of masculinity is reconstructed. We need to start raising more boys to be different kinds of men, so that we can stop raising little girls to fear their safety as women.
I'm just going to share with you our men's pledge against domestic violence developed by MAV. I pledge to educate myself on issues surrounding violence while developing personal beliefs against the use of violence, to be a positive role model for my community, to look honestly at my actions in regard to violence and make changes if necessary, to educate others on all issues surrounding violence, to take initiative. I will be prepared and have the courage to correct others regarding violence, to support women's groups. I may not be able to prevent all violence, but I will help those who have been victimized, to be aware of pre-existing beliefs, stereotypes, and rumors that may alter my judgments, to challenge all social norms. If no one ever challenges social norms, nothing will change, and to learn to identify problematic situations to help victims. Thank you, guys.
And just to finish off, we like to encourage all men to take part in this pledge. We know it's not going to solve every problem that is in the world, but it's a step forward that can also help someone that might be here or someone that you might know. And if you want to know more about us, we have a table over there, other MAV members over there. Wave your hands, hi MAV. And that's it. Appreciate you guys, and I would like to pass it over to a representative from ROTC.
Who would I play in a movie?
No, who would play you in a movie?
Oh, who would play me in a movie?
That's what the question was. I thought the answer was funny enough. Yeah, that was. Okay, who would you play in a movie?
Who would I play in a movie? Maybe Rocky. have a couple. Fitz, Jobin, Joey Bag of Donuts. The Italian guys like to call me Joey Bag of Donuts. I don't know.
That's good. Favorite NFL team?
Patriots.
Fastest teammate?
It's a close one. It's between Liam Dobson or Raph Salamone. I don't know. It's a toss-up.
Okay, here's a good one. Who would play you in a movie?
Who would play me in a movie? Will Ferrell.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Morning or night?
That's a tough one. I'm going 50-50, but I gotta say morning.
Favorite ice cream flavor?
Moose Tracks.
What's your favorite meal?
Favorite meal, mac and cheese, deep fried though.
What's your favorite movie?
Favorite movie would have to be Remember the Titans.
Favorite NFL team?
Dallas Cowboys.
Best basketball player?
LeBron James.
Fastest player on the team?
Either Manny or Ern.
Alright, you're good. Ready? Fastest teammate?
Chris Ferguson.
Pound for pound, Liam Dobson.
Joe Fitz said, Rock, you were the fastest teammate.
Wow.
You and Dobson, what do you say about that?
I gotta take myself on that one, but you know, I can't be selfish. Gotta give the credit to other people.
Favorite NFL team?
Oh, easy, Pats.
Steelers.
It's a little bro.
Who's the fastest teammate?
Look no further, man. Right here.
Who would play you in a movie?
Channing Tatum for sure.
What's your favorite meal?
Favorite meal, a nice, probably New York strip, cooked about medium rare, seasoned well, good pepper, good salt. Side of mashed potatoes, only my mom's mashed potatoes, of course. And then I'm gonna have to go with a nice side of asparagus, grilled.
This copyrighted telecast is the property of Black Bear Sports Properties, LLC, under rights granted by the University of Maine. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, reproduction, or other dissemination or use of this telecast, or any part of it without the express written consent of Black Bear Sports Properties, LLC, is prohibited.